Hey, you girl with them yellow teeth. Get them right with some activated charcoal-based toothpaste. Lucida, baby. Drop down in the description box. Click the link to purchase this and other fine products with your yellow teeth having ass. Baby, we gonna call this the clear that shit up episode of the Real Housewives. Shit, this ain't even the Real Housewives. We gonna call this shit the cleared up episode of damn marriage. Lord have mercy, Jesus. I'm so ready to talk to y'all. My brain racing fast. We gonna call this the clear that shit up episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, baby, because Kimmy cleared that shit up, Wanda cleared that shit up, and Martell cleared a little shit up at the end. Y'all wanna talk about it? Here it goes. That's a girl. This last episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville had no pulled Miss Kimmy Grant Scott all up out of character, baby. She had that damn nurse outfit on, but she was about to turn into a Power Ranger on them hoes down to that parking lot outside of Destiny Business. Yes, God, honey, because she was giving Tisha ass and every other ass what was out there. The business, honey. Yes, listen. I'm going to tell you one thing I loved in this scene, because they was trying their hardest to convince Kimmy and the world that Kimmy was rude to Wanda, and Kimmy refused to acquiesce. She was like, point blank, period, it wouldn't have been no opportunity for me to be rude to Wanda, and there wouldn't be nothing for us to discuss if her ass never showed up undamn invited. And here's the thing, I don't blame you, Kimmy. Do not allow them to browbeat you into believing you were rude. Tisha is stuck on the fact that Kimmy was rude to Wanda. Then even to appease Tisha, Marsau tried to jump in there. You got a little wishy-washy, Marsau, talking about, you don't have to be rude, that greeting. She did not give Wanda a rude greeting. A rude greeting would have been, I don't know how you got here. A rude greeting would have been, I don't know why you're here. A rude greeting would have been, I didn't tell Tisha and Marsau to invite you. The woman was caught off guard, and she said apparently Tisha and Marsau must have invited you. Y'all did. They did. And here's the funny thing about it. It's only Tisha harping on the fact that the greeting was rude. And I honestly feel like Tisha is only doing that in an attempt to manipulate the situation and take a little bit of the onus off of her for what damn happened. Wanda is not even complaining about Kimmy being rude. Wanda didn't even catch no damn shade. You saw from the fact that she almost dove on Martell ass outside the party. Wanda ain't got no problem speaking up for herself or whooping no ass if the needs be. If Wanda felt that Kimmy was being rude, trust and believe, Wanda would have got that shit started with Kimmy down to that table the same way she did with Martell, and she didn't. Therefore suggesting that Wanda did not feel that anything was inappropriate about what Kimmy had done said and how she had done greeted her down to that party. And Tisha, the block got too hot and you stormed off. I mean, I guess rightfully so, you wasn't getting your way, and so I guess there was nothing else left for you to do. But I just don't understand. And Tisha, you got a bad problem of not being able to let shit go. Let it go already. You know what I'm saying? You ever had that friend that they just always gotta be right? And every opportunity they get, even when you think you squashed the issue, they gonna try to find a way to bring it up, to try to reiterate their point, to try to make themselves right. Let me tell you something, Tisha. You wasn't right on Monday. You wasn't right on Wednesday. You wasn't right on Friday. And now we out here on Saturday. And guess what? You still not going to be right. You're not going to be right next week. You're not going to be right next month. You're not going to be right next year. The only time you might be right is when Kimmy turned 90 years old and her ass is in the home because she got early onset Alzheimer's. That might be the only time your ass going to be right in this situation, God forbid. And until that happens, you need to sit down somewhere and just let it go. Let it go. Mel in the studio with her song. What y'all think about Mel's voice? I mean, you know, she could do a little yang, yang, yang around the house. You know, I ain't expecting her to be on the next Soul Train Awards, you know what I'm saying? Or opening for Kelly Rowland or anything. Or, you know, they'll let anybody open for Kelly Rowland if anybody even going to buy her tickets. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother video for a whole nother day. Nevertheless, you know, it's cute if you want to put this song in your scrapbook or you want to upload it to the Facebook, but quiet as it's kept, you know, it didn't rhyme enough for me. Okay? And the only person that I want to hear songs of pain from is Mary J. Blige. So you should have consulted with Mary J. Blige and told her to give you one of them old leftover songs that I know she got in a lunchbox some damn way that she never used from when KC was feeding her cocaine and beating her ass. It sounds like you need one of those. It's too bad. It's too bad. Too bad, baby. But I gotta face reality. I ain't gonna give y'all too much. But she meets with her brother in the studio and they sit down and talk about, you know, how Mark talked to Martell about what he said to the kids. I don't give a damn. As much as I don't like Martell and the shit that he does, I further contend, and Mark is my fraternity brother, and that don't mean shit in this sentence. You was wrong. And I get the point that you were trying to illustrate, but how do you tell another parent that? This is one of the few times I actually will agree with Martell. I mean, he had a right to be upset with your ass for what you said. There were other things that you could have said to him to illustrate that point versus saying that. And it feels like, and people, the fans feel like you was in your bag because he said whatever he said about you liking boys, and that was your way of getting back at him. Wanda and Marsau. Marsau come home because Tisha in school and Wanda watching the kids. He asked Wanda to sit down. If Wanda was not giving me a Della Reese tease from Harlem Night, she said, bring it on, sucker. Apparently you got something you want to say to me, Marsau, so just say it. Let me sit down, just say it. Now I'm going to tell you something. Wanda is just as ornery and pig-headed and bull-headed as she want to be. Because no matter what Marsau explained to her about her behavior, she had an answer as to why it was not her damn fault. Then she damn near said, you damn right I fucked up Kimmy party. Because Kimmy didn't see what Martell said to me and I needed to set it straight to the table. And Marsau was like, no, that was not the time. And she said, yes, it was. I didn't know when the next time I was going to see Martell. I didn't know the next time I was going to see Melanie. And I needed to say it then. And that's just what it is on that. Okay? Let me tell you something. One thing about it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. When you got a country, I'm talking about a Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, North Florida woman, they could be dead ass wrong. Wrong as hell. But baby, when they say it out their mouth, that's the gospel and that's what it is. That's just what it is. That shit is what it is, honey. Wanda said, damn, yeah, she ruined that damn party. Because she had something to say. And that's just what it is. And you know, because we taught in the South to pay our elders respect, we know Wanda dead damn wrong. But that's just what it is. Kimmy, your party was just ruined, bitch. Have another one. Have two more if you need to. But she said what she said. She broke up the scene. And that's just what it is. Now what it ain't, bitch, is fixation. I'm fixation. What is that? Fixation. What is that? What that mean? What is that? Fixation, bitch. When Wanda said fixation, I wanted to pull my TV off the wall and do the Tootsie Roll on it like I was on the Grammy stage. Mel, that's the song you need to make one about fixation. And I feel bad because you don't want to laugh at anyone's miseducation, anyone's mother, or anyone's not knowing of anything. But mama, you can't tell me that you don't made it 50-something years of your life and never heard the word sanction, or did not have enough mental fortitude to use the context clues to semi-deduce what it meant. Then you put an extra "suck" on the sanction, honey. What is that, Marsau? Now, when Wanda was dead ass wrong and what it's not, you're not gonna sit up in my house and tell me that's why you dislike me and that the only reason you come around is for your grandchildren and your daughter. Because your ass would have came around for your grandchildren around the corner and outside my goddamn house. That you not gonna do. Marsau's a better man than I ever be, because what the fuck you gonna do is fake like you like me, or you gonna have enough decency to not say that damn shit to my damn face. Let me tell you something. People always get mad when people talk about them behind their back. I don't mind a motherfucker talking about me behind my back. That's where the fuck you better do it at. But when a bitch get bold enough to say that shit in your goddamn face, that's when we got a problem. That's called disrespect. No, respect me enough, bitch, to talk about me behind my back. I don't give a damn. You say that shit in my face, we got a damn problem. And Wanda, what you said in his face, warranted one of them reality TV Coca-Colas getting thrown in your damn face. Baby, that ponytail would have been drenched in high fructose corn syrup fucking with me. In my damn house, I'd have took your pocketbook and slung that bitch outside by the mailbox. Bitch, bad credit and bills would have been flying all over Huntsville. You'd have thought the goddamn tornado from the Wizard of Oz came through that motherfucker after you said that shit to me. Then I'd have threw your car, I'd have threw your damn car keys so far down that goddamn street, your ass would have been out there with the neighborhood watch committee looking for him like it's a missing child on the back of a goddamn milk cart fucking around with me in my residence where I pay bills. I don't think so. I don't damn think so. Wanda, your ass would have had to get out my damn house that day. Looking thicker than a snicker with them leather pants on. Bitch, I holler. And the camera panned in on Wanda with them tight ass. Lord, that's somebody's mama, so I'm not even finna go down this rabbit hole of what it probably smelled like up under them leather pants and that hot ass sweater. So I'm just gonna move on. So they go shopping and Martell talks to Kimmy about apologizing for what was going on at the party and being able to handle himself different. And he should have, but he blew a gasket. And from what I heard, Wanda did say some things on the thing about his children. You know, it just was a ticking time bomb with Martell and Wanda. It was going to happen whenever they next saw each other, regardless of what. And so, you know, luckily they had their words and now it's just done. You know, one other thing I do want to point out is that I think Wanda should be a bit more attentive and understanding of the fact that what she does affects Tisha and Marsau's social life in so many aspects. And she needs to be a bit more cognizant about that. Everything is not about what you feel. And Wanda's behavior is a clear demonstration of a lack of self-control. It's a complete lack of self-control when you feel something and you just have to say it in that moment. When you can't contain that shit until a more appropriate time, you lack emotional maturity and self-control. But Wanda has also probably positively been rewarded for that damn bullshit all her life. And that's why she do what it is she do. And I told y'all this story. My mama used to go around cussing people out all the time. And she had this reputation. Don't mess with Mildred. Mildred will cuss you out. And then I adopted those same behaviors, just cussing folks out. I had the same reputation. And it wasn't until I got to college and got around people from different walks of life who began to look at me like I had a third eyeball in the middle of my forehead. And I felt so shamed and so outcasted that I corrected that behavior. I finally learned or unlearned that cursing people out is not proper conflict resolution most times. That every now and again, as y'all have seen, you got to get down in the gutter and give a bitch the business and let them know that you ain't playing with their ass. But for the most part, it's not constructive and it's not proper conflict resolution. You know, between Sedric and his involvement on the show, talk about the comeback group don't exist, and some of his social media activities on the Facebook group, the Love and Marriage Huntsville Facebook group, I could take or leave him, right? Because he gave me very much. I'm just so happy to be on TV, I'll do anything. But I will say I did garner a new respect for Sedric when he was talking to Martell about the effect that his parents' divorce had on him. And what I liked about it is that he didn't speak in the clouds and very vaguely. He spoke very specifically about, you know, the older one was there longer, so they seen more. The family unit was together more. That's the one that you need to talk to the most. The youngest was so not affected. Like, that was very good advice, and it came from a genuine place. And I really did love it and hope Martell takes heed to it. Marsau ends up getting into a bad car accident or whatever, and Martell fucks up the popcorn. Now I'm going to tell you something. before I watched this episode, I had saw some fodder on social media about the conversation with the children in regards to asking them where they wanted to live. And there were quite a few ladies that took exception with those questions being asked of those children and saying that those are adult issues and yada, 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 yada. You know, I am of the school of thought that that also should not have been a conversation with those children. Now, if those kids were 11, 12, 13 and could fully grasp the magnitude of what was going on, then I'm all for a healthy dialogue about where they want to be. Because kids tend to have pull towards one parent closer to the other for whatever reasons. You had the youngest baby saying she wanted to live with daddy because he give us Rocky Road ice cream with cookies in it. That is not a valid reason. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side of things, I also think not talking to your children is a large part of why we so fucked up in the black community sometimes. Because we as the adults, we do things and don't talk to them about anything and just let the chips fall where they fall. And we do this whole, I'm grown, do as I say, I'm grown, don't ask me no questions. And, you know, the things affect the children too. So while it was uncomfortable for me, I guess all in all, having some sort of conversation is better than having no conversation. You know, it really touched my heart. Melody's son talking about seeing mommy cry and having to hug her, and he wants to live with mommy, so on and so forth. You know, that was heartbreaking for me. And it was evidence of the fact that children do get affected by divorce in adverse ways. I hope Melody and Martell both see this and that they can see the episode and they can figure this out sooner than later. And to Melody's credit, her oldest daughter is very quiet, and I think that is the one that you probably need to focus the most on. And it would not hurt to get her into some therapy, because there may be things she'd be willing to talk to a counselor that she's too shy to talk to you about, but there's obviously something going on because she was too quiet and too reluctant to express herself. And she has the greatest of the communication skills out of all the children because she's the oldest. So her reluctance to speak shows that she's carrying something that she doesn't feel comfortable releasing. And Melody and Martell better pay special attention to that. Last but not least, you know, this episode was the first time that I garnered any type of sympathy and or respect for Martell. It was the first time I saw him let his guard down, not be this conniving ass joker with this treacherous grin on his face, and be vulnerable. And I don't know if it's because Maurice and Sedric helped create a safe space for him. You know, Sedric had me thrown a little bit when he was going down that rabbit hole of, I understand when your wife ain't doing certain things, yada, 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 and it can make you, you know, and, you know, and Maurice, you know, co-signed it to the best of his ability to not get his ass slapped by Kimmy. You know, when he said there's 3 options: to cheat, divorce, or deal with it, or whatever the case may be, which is the truth. But him coming clean about our Ariane being pregnant and all of that, it was huge. I want Martell to stop it with this Melody cheated first thing, because it feels like that's what you're telling yourself to make this all right. Like, dude, you're 60% there. Like, you're not gonna die if you own your shit. You may deal with a little bit of embarrassment, a little bit of shame, a lot of bit of guilt, but you're not gonna die. And a real man knows how to stand up in the fire and take that shit. You not gonna damn die. You ain't the first man to cheat on his wife and ruin his fucking family, and you won't be the last. Okay? And they ain't dead. They moved on and got the other wives or other girlfriends or other mistresses or other babies, and you seem to be on track with all of that. So, I don't know. This was a very good episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And again, I contend that this show continues to just really be good, because they've gotten they're at a point still where they have genuine content, genuine conflict, and genuine things to discuss that we're interested in. And it hasn't gotten to the point yet where they have to start fake the funk. But the people is asking where Destiny husband at. Where is LeBerick? Where is the chicken man? I've been scrolling up and down Facebook and they said that their marriage is over. He ain't in the house or so on and so forth. I don't know. I ain't spread no gossip. I ain't heard nothing definitively yet. But bitch, we need to see LeBerick in these next upcoming episodes. And if not, I'm going to be like Kenya Moore and start spreading rumors. That's all I got. Ain't got no more. Getting ready to go to happy hour. I'll call y'all back. Bye.